So I'm just doing a weekly wrap up for the week of January 6th through January 10th, 2025. And so this week went pretty well. I've been doing more focusing on just kind of the discipline and psychology side of things. I've made a couple of really, what I feel are really important observations. I mentioned in my last video that I failed my second evaluation through Top Step and kind of had to do some soul searching, doing some analysis on what's going wrong. Is it something on the technical side? Is it something else? And I think it is something else, as I'll show here in a second. And just to get to the really important discovery that I think I made, I'm both kind of frustrated and excited and optimistic for what this might mean. So I've been watching through the Market Maker Primer course for Forex and just finished the video on risk management. He has a couple of videos, but it's the one toward the bottom. I think I'm at like video 20 now or something like that. But anyway, it was a long-winded video on risk management, which is right up my alley. I like collecting data, obviously, and having it to look through and analyze. So I was revisiting it based on what he was talking about, and basically his recommendation. He did kind of a thing where he pulled up several different theoretical accounts for different trading styles or different risk management styles, and went through and just kind of did a breakdown of this trader doesn't have any system in place for losses. This one is following what he called a hard start, I think, where you just went straight to your maximum per trade risk and it just stayed there. And then there was ones where you kind of eased into it up to a maximum level. And then there was ones where at a certain number of profitable trades, you would increase each risk size throughout those profitable trades. And then you either have a winning trade, or whenever you have a losing trade, you take it back down to the minimum. So in his examples, it was 5. After 5 consecutive profitable trades, then you would just drop down to the lowest risk size again. So I went through, made a spreadsheet of old data that I have from my trading style, from my trading performance that I've gathered so far, and did kind of a comparison on them. And I still have yet to decide on an exact, on all the details of how I want to approach it, whether I'm going to do the after a certain number of profitable ones, drop it. But what really jumped out to me that, again, was kind of surprising, it was both frustrating and seems like a good discovery, was that this curve right here was from my first failed account. It doesn't go all the way out to the point where I failed, but there's more than enough data points to collect, to kind of aggregate and come out with my overall final batting average and win-loss ratio, which are right here, 46% per trade, each trade, 44%, almost 45% as far as winning days, but that doesn't matter. So on a trade-by-trade basis, I hit 46% of them as winners, and my average winner was 14% bigger than my average loser, and that generated this curve right here. So this was, I think, at least partially toward the end, my strategy was, after a profitable week, I would allow myself to go up by one contract. So I would start at one contract, if I had a profitable week, then I would go up and trade 2 the next week if I had a profitable week again, and then if I had a not profitable week, I would stay, and then if I had yet another not profitable week, then I would move back down to 1, or I would move down by 1. And this is a really common curve. It's pretty cool how consistent all of my curves are. They go up initially, and then they just kind of start trending downward pretty slightly. And I discovered that if I just set all trades, so this is the same entries, same exit, same stop loss placement, everything about the trades is the same, but we're just pretending I used 1 micro for each trade. And this is the cool thing right here. Look how the equity curve changed. If I had done the same exact thing, that would have been at almost $1,200 net by the end of these 120 trades, which is pretty wild. If I was trading 1 mini, obviously there's commissions in here, so this isn't exact, but just for purely theoretical funny ha-has, that would have been $12,000 with my trading style, taking the entries that I look for, and like I said, everything about the trades is the same, minus the contract size. And I've done this with several of these accounts, or different the different accounts that I've got saved. So this is the paper account that I'm currently trading. You can see this week the trades that I did. I hit 4 out of 5 of them, and my loser was pretty small. These, I was fumbling around on my phone trying to put an order in while I was at the office. Not a good idea, so I just stopped. But these were the real trades right here. And I have been doing the same thing of just doing 1 contract, 1 micro. That's it. I've moved back to that style. So it's too soon to tell if this is going to turn out in reality the way it looks on paper. But this is the same thing here. So this is my actual equity curve. So there's 96 trades that I've taken. So that's a decent sample size. And you can see this big jump up was a trade that I left on overnight, kind of in this area where the market was really going crazy, and I knew it was going crazy, so I left a trade. This was 1 micro overnight. So ignoring that, we can just look at kind of the big picture, but kind of a jump up if you add these two together, and then kind of the gentle slope down. But again, if I'm doing 1 contract or 2 contracts, but all the same amount, this is what it looks like. So this is for 1 micro. I have I kind of manipulated all this, came out with my my actual profit and loss so that I could change the position size uniformly across all of them. So with 1 micro, it just completely flips the direction of my equity curve. So if I did 3, I would be at coulda, shoulda, woulda is never a good strategy, but just looking at this for future sake, for how to adjust my strategy, I think this is pretty powerful right here. Again, it's the same exact entries, same exits, same everything, same I'm looking for the same things, taking the same things, just the contracts are different. And that's a pretty massive difference. So again, if I was doing one mini each, I would be at 75 grand right now, just from the exact trades that I've taken. And there was some pretty rough stuff in here. I mean, this week I was down $850. The stats on this are not great, to put it frankly. Less than coin toss odds, and my average winner is 6% bigger than my average loser. And I can still eke out something of an upwards trending curve. And I'm just tickled at what I'm seeing. So my plan moving forward, especially upcoming weeks, I am taking it kind of slow just because of the Q1 AMDX stuff. I want to make sure I kind of have an understanding of what the first quarter of the year is going to be, if it's an A or an X. And then I'll probably get a little more into it. But I'm still taking trades. Like I said, I took 5 trades this week, and just low expectation, not trying to shoot for the moon. That was another thing I identified, is a lot of the people in the group that I'm in are able to trade basically the entire daily range pretty much every day. So it's, I think I was aiming too high. I'm not at that place yet. That's okay. I may never get to that point, and that's also okay. I don't need that. If I could just get, a 50 handle move a couple times a week with the right position sizing, that's more than enough for a comfortable living, and that's all I'm after. So this has been kind of a paradigm shift in my thinking. So I'm definitely going to just lock myself in to the fixed contract size, and then I think I'll probably change it to a percentage basis. Like if I get 1 or 2% above the original equity, then I jump to the next contract size. And because I think I was complaining about it in a previous journaling session where I was doing the evaluation account that way that I mentioned before, moving up by 1 each profitable week. And then I would inevitably, my first trade of the week would be a loser, and it would wipe out the entirety of the last week's profit. So it was a 1 step forward, 2 steps back scenario. And that was really frustrating. And I think this is the fix to it. It sounds so common sense now that I'm saying it out loud and thinking about it, but I don't know how I missed it, but this seems to be the way that I need to go about it. So like I said, I haven't decided on the exact risk parameters that I'm going to follow when my evaluation resets in 4 days, but I think that's probably the gist of it. I'll probably do 2 micros as the minimum risk sizing, and then I can work up from there by some percentage of probably the drawdown, because the account again is not a $50,000 account. It's basically a $2,000 account, because once you go below that, then that's it, game over. So I'm treating it like a $2,000 account, so I'll do some percentage of that. 1%, if I make $200 above, I think I said 10%, $200 above initial equity, and then jump up. That seems a little bit too similar to what I was doing. I can do $200 in 1 trade, so I'd probably do, I don't know, at just each time, each standard deviation of that initial balance. So at $4,000 or something, then I can go up. Maybe that's too aggressive. Maybe it should be somewhere in between. I haven't decided yet, but I will have that all figured out and updated in my trade plan by the time I'm ready to start trading in that account on the 14th. So anyway, kind of a long-winded way around, but this was my main takeaway for the week that has really given me some optimism. Like this account was all the way back in June that I was doing this. So I've definitely learned. I think I'm technically adept enough to eke out some consistency and start getting some payouts, and then that I can continue on with all of the technical side of things, which to me is kind of the easy thing. That's not the determination. That's not the determining factor in profitability. And ICT says just as much. It's more about the stuff that I'm working on now, which I thought I had under control, but I am always happy to learn if it means an improvement. So that is, I think, my weekly update. I will try potentially to do another one at the end of next week, but we'll see. And hopefully this works out. So onwards and upwards.